Hi everyone, welcome here to the Impermanent Loss dashboard. Some of you might be familiar already with impermanent loss. Impermanent loss occurs when we do liquidity mining. It's this issue of we always invest 50% in coin A and the other 50% in coin B. And if coin A increases, then we end up having less of coin A because we always try to have the same investment in terms of euros or dollars or whatsoever in the pair in the coin A as in the coin of B. And if coin A increases, then we have less of coin A and more comparable of coin B. And that's not so cool. We like to have always more of the coin that increases and not of the one that comparable has a worse performance. But this is just a side effect from doing liquidity mining. But it's not a problem because let's have a look into the dashboard. We can have a look how big is the impermanent loss actually for my liquidity pair and how much did I get yield from the liquidity mining. Here I've chosen the example with Bitcoin and DeFi coin from starting at the 1st of January this year. And we see impermanent loss is really small and the yield is really big. This yield is not only what we received as a cash out, so the additional coins, but also how these additional coins have developed over time. So maybe we only got 50% reward, but this 50% has increased over time, so it's incorporated here. So this is the profit that we made just with the yield since the 1st of January, and this is what we lost from the impermanent loss. So we could say Bitcoin and DeFi, they're really well correlated. This means they go a similar way, like a similar path. Like if you and me, we want to go to Rome and we just follow the same path. This means quite high correlation coefficient. We have displayed you the correlation coefficient down here, and you see some numbers. Correlation coefficient can be between 1 and -1. In between of this range, it can be somewhere. So 1 means that they're really highly correlated, so they work the same path. So maybe an example, Bitcoin goes up 5% and then it's quite likely that the DeFi coin goes up by 4.8 or 4.9%. They just have a similar performance each day. Then we see Ethereum, also highly correlated with DeFi coin, but not so much. DeFi coin with itself is perfectly correlated. If the DeFi coin goes up by 5%, the DeFi coin goes up by 5%. Then we have Litecoin, also highly correlated, Bitcoin Cash, and we have Dogecoin, which is not so highly correlated. So Dogecoin, we can show this also with an example here when we choose the Dogecoin. Dogecoin and DeFi since the start of the year, we see that impermanent loss is really high. So since they went a completely different performance over the time horizon, we have really high impermanent loss. But the yield was only 25%. So we see for this liquidity mining pair was not so good to invest. Good. This is what we understood here. Let's have a look at this graph. This graph should give you a general idea about how impermanent loss occurs over time. But I think it's a bit difficult to understand, so I like to give you an example. So we have here Bitcoin and DeFi. I made up some numbers. Bitcoin starts with a price of 10 and DeFi with a price of 2. So the ratio between of them is 5. Okay, so we start here at 1 and 0. So when everything is at the start, we start with 5. Now we assume here in our example that Bitcoin increases in price by 100%. It increases to 20, while DeFi remains constant. So the change goes from 5 up to 10, the ratio. So this means a 100% increase. So basically we go from 1 here to 2. If we are on 2, we would have 5.7% impermanent loss in this liquidity pair. That's not so much. Now let's make this example even more crazy. Let's assume Bitcoin increases to 20, just like before, and the DeFi coin falls from 2 to 1. Then the ratio would be 20, which is 4 times the 5 that we started, so 400% different. So if we're here at 4, impermanent loss would be 20%. Okay, this is how to interpret this graph. Good, so either you can look up how your impermanent loss in a certain time period was with the help of these parameters up here, or you can have a look, maybe you want to do some investment in the future for liquidity mining, and then it would make sense to choose a liquidity pair that has a comparable high correlation coefficient in order to counteract the impermanent loss. Good, I hope it helped you, this video. If you have any questions, just put it in the YouTube video. We can also explain impermanent loss a bit more mathematically. Just give us some comment. Thank you very much. Bye bye.